My relationship with New York is like being in a abusive relationship with this stinky, gross asshole. But somehow the sex is amazing.
I never in my life had one full-time job, ever. I was always balancing 4 part-time jobs, and I used to wonder, I wonder what my full-time job will be, because I could never find one. This was always a hobby since I was a kid. Once I kind of realized that there were people making functional dishes as a job, I was like, I want to do that.
I was miserable in my job. I was constantly saying, I don't want to be here, I don't know what I'm doing here. While I was working for other chefs, I started realizing that the creating process, I was doing it the same as them. I needed to go out from working 15 hours a day and try to look for my own style of cooking.
Yeah, before I freelance, I work as a designer in Barcelona. At some point, you need to start doing your thing, and it's time for you to decide certain things on your own.
I am not a 9-to-5 person. I like to work late, and full-time really get in the way of that. One Monday morning, I came to work and I sat down. I just feel that I don't want to be there, and then I quit. Now I'm a creative director at my own design studio, aka also my living room.
A lot of people told me that I was too young. I was scared of failure.
Beginnings are always rough.
It took 4 years for me to get from that beginning to get to this. A year ago, my studio was like 1/5 of the size of this studio. There's a lot of stress associated with running your own business, being in charge of everything, whether or not you're good at it, it's falling on you.
Every time I think like that, I also just suddenly realize how much freedom and control that I have over my own schedule, my own work, my own client, and everything seems really irrelevant.
I think in New York, you really need to be making cash all the time. If not, the city doesn't allow you to stay.
So that puts a certain amount of pressure on me to sell a certain number of pieces all the time.
Finding a place that I can afford, so I have my plates under the bed to cut some expenses.
The city has given me so much that I didn't ask for. It has shaped me from a China boy into a Williamsburg bitch.
There's so many opportunities in New York, so much more audience for different types of things.
I can experiment with different flavors and different textures that people don't know about and they want to try it.
So many different culture, knowledge, experience, people.
It's a very nice environment for a creative person.
I see people walk out of the subway station and then just like, it's just like the movies. No, it's not. Because this city smells like shit all the time.
There's a moment of like, of course, you lose a little bit of that fantasy, that excitement, that sort of idealization when it becomes a reality. It's just your reality.
Someone came and did a studio visit and they did pottery for fun. They're like, yeah, you know, after work, I love to just go to the studio and just clear my mind and go on the wheel. And I'm like, yeah, it used to be like that for me. Because it was an escape from whatever pressures were in my life. Now it is the pressures in my life.
This is the big challenge when you need to create excitement again into your long-term relationship with yourself.
People just assume that you're waiting for the next full-time job. They don't understand, I don't want another full-time job at all.
Every day I wake up wanting to work, wanting to do what I love.
And it feels incredible to think that like there are people out there who have my stuff in their kitchen and they wake up and they make a cup of coffee and they're drinking out of something that I made sitting right here. Like that's an incredible feeling, you know? So I can't like trade that for anything.
There's a moment when you really need to ask yourself if you are being true to your big question. Is this really the life I want to have? And I am doing all I can to make this life happen or not? Because if not, you live in a fantasy.